Have you ever wondered how something created 300 years ago can still be applicable today? I mean, how is it possible that the Founding Fathers could possibly imagine things like cars, computers, even cell phones? There's seemingly no way, and yet the same law they created long ago can still be used today to control and influence all of our tech, our lives, and the world. So what gives? It turns out that despite their crazy fashion style and affinity for tea, our forefathers understood the importance of longevity in the government. After a brief failure with that thing that was called the Articles of Confederation, our founders realized that despite their best efforts, it was likely that things would always be changing if America was to grow and thrive, and thus there needed to be some sort of built-in mechanism in the Constitution that would allow for flexibility. So they created the elastic clause. What? You mean there's a clause in the Constitution to promote wearing sweatpants? No, don't get too excited. The word elastic here is meant to be a metaphor for flexibility. Now, in case you didn't know, the Constitution is short, like only 8 articles or parts short. I know you're thinking, how is it possible that 8 paragraphs more or less controls our entire country? The answer has to do with how the concept of power was built into the system by our forefathers. See, the Constitution actually gives some powers directly to the federal government. These are called delegated powers, and there are essentially 3 subtypes of powers that the government has. They are inherent, expressed, and implied. While all powers are important, the one that we want to focus on comes in Section 8 of Article 1 of the Constitution. It is called an implied power, and it is a result of something called the elastic clause. Sometimes known as the necessary and proper clause or the coefficient clause, the elastic clause says that Congress shall have the power to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by this Constitution in the government of the United States, or in any department or officer thereof. Say what? Essentially, the clause says that the government has the power to create any laws it needs to in order to uphold the current form of law. Our founding fathers were so smart that they knew that there had to be things that they wouldn't think of that would be important one day, and this clause built in room to modify the law to address any and all issues that might come up. This is how our old document is able to work 3 centuries later.